What's up, guys? It's Bro Talk Banner, hosted by me, Casey Lewis. Today on the set we have Caden Van Horn once again. He was a big hit last time. And today we have Parker Holbrook, another great friend of mine. Guys, it is a rainy day today. How do you guys feel about this new environment for the podcast?
Honestly, I love rain. I'm gonna be real. It's been so dry lately, especially when I've been cutting grass. Man, I go and take a turn. I have a Z-Point lawnmower. I go take a turn, and it kicks up dirt everywhere and dust.
Yeah.
And plus, all of the gnats come up and get you, and it's like. Then the rain came. It was great. As soon as I heard that huge thunder strike or whatever, yeah, we had a big thunder. I was on the hammock, of course. I looked out and I was like, "Oh heck yeah, please start raining." And well, it did. So after like a 2-week drought, we're raining.
That's nice.
I bet being on a hammock during a thunderstorm is nice.
Yeah, right when the rain started, I was out in our sunroom just reading the Dune book. I'm halfway through. It's giant, but reading paired with rain is the greatest experience that you will have. It's just so nice.
Yeah, I would never know.
Also, if anybody if anybody is annoyed by the birds in the backgrounds from the other podcast, you might have
got crickets
a bit better. Yeah, you get a few crickets. It's later.
That's all. Usual. No, because I got the headset on. That's all I can hear is the crickets. But I think it's better than like birds chirping, to be honest. But
I prefer birds. Birds are kind of beautiful.
Maybe night podcast is the better.
No, because then when you get to the night, you get the cicadas, and that's just like...
Cicadas are nice, though. I actually like the sound of cicadas.
Okay.
Bro Talk Banner during the dusk.
The
actually,
twilight?
The cover art for my thing is a sunset, so...
Sunset.
Bro Talk Banner.
Yes.
It's a sunset. But, what's your book about, by the way?
Dune? You haven't seen the movie?
No.
No? Okay.
I haven't either.
I was never
explained it really
hard, so I gotta know.
Alright, basically, think of planet, big planet, got it? Alright, it has a lot of dunes on it, sand. There's these giant worms in the sand where if you make too much noise, they will come and kill you.
So like the movie Tremors, where they all come up from the ground like...
Basically, but these things they're huge. They don't really have like measurements in the book, they just like compare them to like... It's a sci-fi book, so they compare them to like giant cargo ships or like giant freighters. But I still find it weird that they go after like anything that like makes a sound. Kind of weird, because why would they do that? It's just noise, unless they don't like noise,
or maybe they're hungry.
Maybe they are
just
hungry.
need to get some food.
Last time we talked about the plot of like stories and movies and stuff. What is the plot of your book so far?
So basically, it's it's broken into different parts. So the first part of the book is mainly a giant political scene, where it's a bunch of politics, but it's basically a bunch of factions all fighting over this planet because the spice on there is just really expensive and people get addicted to it really easily. So everybody wants it to sell it because it's very expensive.
What type of spice? Is this like a drug cartel?
It's basically...
Okay.
Yes, drugs. But it's mainly used for food because it tastes great. So, and then House takes over the planet. If nobody's read Dune, I'm going to spoil it. So basically, this whole war breaks out over this planet, separating this kid and his mom, which the kid he's supposed to be not a disciple, but basically a disciple who's making the way for the upcoming person that's supposed to unify the planet.
Was he like prophesied?
Yeah, he was prophesied. That's why like there's another faction called the Freemen that's like on the planet, and they like rule it kind of, but they're like wastelanders, and they like heavily believe in this guy, so they would like do anything to help it. So it's this giant political war against this faction that wants to take over the planet for its spice, and these guys that want to help this kid get to power so that way he can unify.
So the political war is outside of the planet, and they want to take over the Dune planet because of spice.
Yes.
As like a material. And then people on the Dune planet with like the rogues and whatever who want to help this prophesied boy unify the planet. Is he unifying the people on the planet or just everything in the galaxy?
One more thing. No, it's basically planet centered. But also this planet has a lack of water. Like there's no water. So there's this huge battle of like sacrificing people and like having special systems to take in their own water from anything, including themselves, and then putting it back into them. It's weird because water is just this giant battle because nobody has water. So it's also a war about water and spice, but everybody on the planet like needs like a better source of water, but nobody wants to give it to them because it would just take a huge amount of money. But everybody wants the spice and not deal with the water problem and extort the people. So
it's just about like water wars and
It's-
political wars.
it's water wars, spice wars, and political wars. Yes.
I know what Dune is about now. So
You're welcome.
What is Dune 2? Spice Wars taken to the galaxy level?
No, they just had to make 2 movies on the book because the book's so big.
Oh wait, the first movie wasn't even over the entire book?
No, it's like not even half the book.
Wow. Speaking of political wars, we had the presidential debate here in Atlanta recently. Y'all have any highlights about that?
Golf is a selling point for me.
Golf.
Golf, yes.
I just loved looking at Biden's faces when Trump was speaking. He just looked so... I want to say sad. I feel bad for the guy. Like, I don't know why they would keep pushing him out. I know like he wants to. I feel like at some point he's like gaslit to believe that he can run the country. He's so senile.
Yeah.
He's just like a happy old granddad.
Listen, all he wants is chocolate chip ice cream, and he wants to be left alone.
He looks like the type of guy that would run an ice cream truck, not gonna lie.
Same thing as running the country. But I didn't watch much. I only watched the part where they were talking about golf and arguing about golf and like being children fighting over a toy. But
Actually,
yeah.
I find it quite important which presidential opponent could outdrive the other. That I filter that into who I would vote for when I become of age.
Yeah, whoever outdrives wins the election.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure Ronald Reagan had a pretty good drive. I mean, JFK had a good one too.
Golf is a rich man's sport.
Golf is a very much rich man's sport.
How do you feel about that phrase, Parker?
I agree with it. I don't really have any problems with it. I mean,
What about tennis?
tennis is not a rich man's sport. Don't even get started on that. You just gotta have a racket and a ball, and you can go play.
Yeah, and like
I mean,
tennis-
same thing with baseball. You just need.
I mean, same
baseball's
thing with-
more expensive. You need a bat, a glove, and a ball,
Yeah,
and you need friends.
and you got to be like
Yeah.
athletic for tennis and baseball.
With tennis, you can play with 2 people. Baseball, you gotta play with 9, or if you want to have an actual game, 18,
Man. You gotta have a lot of friends.
or enemies.
Or enemies.
Or
yeah.
enemies.
In fact, it's probably more fun to play with an enemy than your friend.
Spice things up a little bit.
Or if you want to shake it up, you can start with a friend and then make him your enemy while you play.
That usually happens.
Yeah.
Usually, although not so much in physical sports. If you're playing like Uno, then heck yeah. Uno will destroy your relationship, especially with like all the funky rules. Like stack, I would play stacks all day long. They're hilarious.
We
not
should
gonna
have an
lie.
Uno session on the podcast.
Okay, we'd have to video it. Yeah.
Well, videos are on Spotify now, so
Yeah. I mean, I haven't submitted anything. Like, I have the option to do it on YouTube too, but like I found no point if we're not doing video. So whenever I do start videoing the podcast, I'll put it on YouTube and stuff. It'll be so much easier to access too. So
and you can make shorts on it and export the people that watch shorts and draw a lot of people in.
Well,
I know the whole world watches shorts.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have to video it because think about it. Back in the day, all your sports were on radio and stuff, so we could just narrate it. Like, and then Caden comes forth with a draw 4. Oh look, we're going next. Oh, is he better reverse? We're going back. Oh, but in this case, we're playing stacks, so it's reverse on a reverse. Now we're going forth.
We just need a
Get a
permanent
+2 and another
narrator.
+2. Can we get a third? Well, we got a third. Oh, and that's draw 6 for Parker. Dang it.
Nah, that wouldn't happen. You would not win.
I would not listen to that personally. I don't have the attention span.
It's a pretty fast-paced game of Uno. Too.
That's why you got to make it short. Just like the highlights of the commentary.
Just the highlights. This is a podcast. It's live.
Uno Part 7. on the short
We
form
split
content.
the podcast. Every episode's like a minute long.
It's a whole movie in multiple.
Uno, the
chapters.
movie.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, the sooner or the more this podcast runs, I'm thinking maybe towards November or some other part of the end of the year, I'll start videoing it. But it's just like I think I might have to use a different software to edit stuff too, to combine the audio and the video. But I can learn it easily. Right now I'm actually using GarageBand. It's been helping me a lot. I know it's not the most professional thing to use, but yeah, it's GarageBand. All I got really, because everything else you got to pay for. GarageBand's free. So
GarageBand, if you're hearing this, please sponsor us.
GarageBand,
We just gave you a huge shout out.
I need monetization badly. So, Caden, what made you want to bring root beer to the podcast?
Yeah, what were your urges?
Well, honestly, probably some of my favorite drinks are both root beer and cream soda. Like my two favorite carbonated drinks. So the A&W root beer. A&W sponsor us.
So you're asking us to make a drink tier list? Is that what you're saying?
I never said that.
I think that's what you're saying, actually.
I never requested that.
No,
but sure.
I'm pretty sure I recall.
This is definitely
you
not
said.
scripted.
We should write a drink tier list. Those words came out of your mouth, actually.
Yeah.
You know what? Yes. We should do a drink tier list.
I'm glad
right
you
now.
remember.
And for anyone listening and wondering, every time we're about to do the podcast, like start it and getting it running, we always brainstorm topics. So that's what we're talking about right now.
So
we're thinking about making a tier list.
comment down below if you want to hear a
This is
podcast.
Spotify.
I don't know.
Brainstorm.
Yeah. Well, Spotify does have comments for
Oh, they do?
podcasts. Yeah.
Wow.
Have you ever checked those?
If you can't comment,
Probably
make your
no
own
one's
podcast
commented, yeah.
and tag us
Everybody
in the comments,
comment on the podcast and share it with whatever friends you have.
if you have any.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, you probably don't have any.
But all right.
No, I'm not like Caden. I believe that everyone who's listening right here has friends.
Everybody that's listening right now, we love you.
I mean,
God
Yeah.
bless you.
I don't know them, so.
Well, yeah. If you're a murderer, probably not.
Oh yeah, we got friends in Belgium, Japan, Germany, yeah, and then
trust
all
me.
over the U.S.
I got friends in high places, trust me.
Yeah,
You don't want to mess with us.
but anyways, let's get this tier list going since y'all mentioned it. Parker, what are your top 3 drinks?
Top 3 drinks of all time. We're going to put sweet tea all the way up the top. We're going to put lemonade up there. It's a classic, American delicacy right there. And for a third drink, I'm going to have to go with Blue Powerade. Blue
So
Powerade.
You're a grandpa, is what I'm hearing.
Single-handedly. Oh, hey, that's one pretty cool grandpa if you drink Blue Powerade. Now, if you want to get into mixtures, sweet tea, lemonade together, make it Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, I was about to say,
That
like,
exceeds into the S tier. And if you want to make something beautiful, put sweet tea, lemonade, and Blue Powerade, all 3 together. It turns green. You can't knock it until you've tried it. Every time I go to Otto's Chicken, that's what I put in there. Heck yeah. Best thing you will ever taste in your life.
Have you ever seen the life hack video of how to buy alcohol or like how kids buy alcohol?
Why?
So they go to stores and they find the Arnold Palmer brand and they'll scan the non-alcoholic version and then they'll just take the alcoholic version with them and they'll just get it.
so now I know.
Or
There's
not
an
for free.
alcoholic Arnold Palmer?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, really?
Yeah, the
Dang.
bold flavor.
What?
Yeah, but that's how they do it.
Huh.
But anyways, Kaden, what's your top 3?
Top 3? Well, I kind of said root beer and cream soda already. But honestly, hot topic, water. I gotta love water.
Some snaps for that.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure water is part of every single drink on the tier list.
Water is in every single drink, but just water. Well, no, this is carbonated water. It's not the same as water.
I think it is,
So-
though.
So if you had
It's
to
carbonated.
choose drinks that had flavor, what would they be?
Drinks with flavor.
You knocking down water flavor?
No, I'm not. I hope
So no water. No water. All right.
Like, you could have like lake water or ocean water. Those taste
No,
different.
I love your idea of water, but I'm just saying if you had to say something else.
All right. Now you got to make me think. All right. Honestly, I'm gonna say Arnold Palmer. Love that stuff.
So guys, I have a confession to make. I've never had Arnold Palmer. in my life.
That is.
Hey, you
Wow,
got any
okay.
lemonade in your house right now? We can make you one.
No.
No,
No,
you got any lemons?
that was a pretty
Any sugar?
long. No,
Life hasn't given me lemons right
You
now.
can't make
no
lemonade.
lemons.
But
No money either.
my top 3 flavorful drinks are gonna have to go from. Let's see. We'll put Dr. Pepper up top.
Definitely gonna put high C up there somewhere.
Also, I have this like thing where I consider Dr. Pepper and root beer to be like related to each other. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of like. What is it in
They are-
economics? What do they call it? Substitute goods.
They are not
Yeah.
at all.
They taste different, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like,
How do you relate them?
like I could substitute one for the other.
But like, what's the drawing factor between like relating them? Like, how do you relate those together?
I don't know. They just give a similar feeling. Anyways, I'm just being dumb, but that's. Let's see. Number 2. I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, I'll go root beer. Number 3. Kaden, you could probably guess. What do you think?
Celsius.
Yes.
Yeah.
Celsius.
He's,
I mean,
he's that guy.
as bad as it is for you, dude, I saw a video. The guy was like, they put some metal that they put in the Celsius drink comes from human waste, and I was like, are we sure? Anyways,
I mean, anything that you put in you is gonna be voiced eventually.
What is Celsius?
no, I mean like they use it to make the drink,
Oh, I mean, you got to use it somewhere.
but
No,
the
no, you
internet's
don't.
crazy sometimes.
What is Celsius?
Celsius is like this supposedly like healthy energy drink that it's like supposed to help you burn fat easily and hydrate you essentially. But
So like water. Water hydrates you pretty good.
yeah, but it doesn't.
Is it
also-
like- Is there like an
it's-
American version called Fahrenheit? I'd prefer that one. Not gonna lie.
Fahrenheit, the drink
Does
would be
Celsius
crazy.
originate in Europe?
Mhm.
Of course it does.
No.
No, it doesn't. I'm just kidding.
So then, where does it
Of
originate?
course it does.
I
Do you
don't know.
know?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's what I
I
thought.
try to drink it not as often as possible because I'm gonna trust the rumors that it is bad. But on days that I do the podcast, sometimes I'll put in a Celsius just to get me talking a little more. Which is also why I said bring a sugary drink so that you could like stay active a little bit.
Unless Celsius sponsors us. If Celsius sponsors us, you guys are great.
Hey,
Yes,
if you're like a
Celsius,
drink
sponsor
company,
me.
if you're a drink company and you hear your name, sponsor us.
Yes. Even if you don't hear your name, sponsor us and we'll automatically put you in S tier.
That's what I'm saying. So,
They might. I still have to rate you harshly.
but those are my top 3.
No, so your top 3 were root beer, Celsius, and your upmost one was
No, the top one was Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, yeah.
DP. I went to the Dr. Pepper Museum in Texas.
Mm.
It was the first time I've ever had Dr. Pepper because I don't drink carbonation because it's gross and it hurts my throat.
We all have that one friend.
It's kept me healthy for most of my life because I don't drink soda.
As he's got his gallon of sweet tea right next to him.
Hey, we just had this conversation. This thing has less sugar than your little tiny bottle of root beer.
That is true. It's insane how much sugar they put in this A&W root beer.
Okay.
So actually, y'all drinking way more sugar than me.
Look, I drink water 90% of the time.
Mhm.
Okay, the only time I drink soda is when I like know I've been drinking water the whole month or for times like these where I need to like get energy. So,
Yeah. I'm like the opposite. I drink through sweet tea the entire month. Like, we have 5 gallons of sweet tea at home. Just going through them. It's pretty nice, not gonna lie.
Oh.
yeah, just repping them out.
Yeah, unless it's tennis time. When it gets to tennis, that's water.
Yeah.
Then I put some powdered Gatorade into it, mix it up, make some Gatorade.
So you are not a water guy.
I love water, but I prefer other stuff.
Mm.
Hey, when I brush my teeth, I use water. At least I'm not afraid.
Oh my
that
gosh!
counts.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I have to drink water during the summer,
Mhm.
especially because it's like 90 degrees these past 2 weeks. So, and I go run. I go do sprints up the hill in my neighborhood. So, I kind of need it. I need to get one of those gallons of water. Or
Hey,
else
you
I'm
want this
gonna-
drug after I use it?
Yeah. Are you gonna drink that like before you leave?
You want me to?
No, I mean I'm not gonna force you to. That's a lot. That's a lot of tea.
It's just half a gallon.
It,
It was a whole gallon.
That's the Parker mindset for you. It's only half a gallon. You know, when I do my sprints and I'm about to like fall over, I'm gonna remember that.
You should. It's only another lap.
Parker said it's only half a gallon.
It's only half a gallon.
That's free gym motivation for those who need it.
You know, a wise man once told me, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Are you quoting me?
I am quoting you. See, that should give you more motivation too.
But yeah.
So are we doing the tier list or not?
We just did. My gosh.
That we really did not do it.
Do you want?
Do you want to do one cognitive tier list?
You want
We
an
should do
expansive
one
tier list over every single drink in America.
No, I'm not saying every drink in America. I'm just saying that
Just
was not
our
a tier
favorites.
list.
Our top 3 tier list? That's the same thing.
I mean, okay.
Look, all right, you want to do it? Let's do it. Let's do one cognitive
I'm not
tier
saying. I'm
list.
just saying. Was that the tier list?
You want it, Luke?
Okay. Well, let's just start naming drinks though. We'll rate it a 0 out of 10, and that's how we'll do it.
Okay.
Whoever gets the highest. High C. What are we ranking it? Everyone's favorite childhood sugary drink.
I honestly, high C.
But if
Don't really like it.
Does it taste like Fanta?
It's fruit
basically
punch.
Well, it's kind of Fanta, but like less carbonated.
It's not carbonated actually.
Oh, so you must love that.
It's okay. I'm not a big fruit punch
Oh.
guy, so
yeah.
I'll probably give it a 6. I mean, it's not bad. It's not too terribly good. I think it's too flavorful.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 6.
Like I taste it. You've never had it.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Just put it. Yeah.
I'm riding the train, okay?
Hop on the
Well,
train.
an average would be 5.
Fine. I'll
Yeah.
give it a
Come
5.
on. Honestly, I'm gonna give it a 4. Not my favorite drink.
You're just a hater.
It's not that great.
High C carried
It's
so many
overrated.
people's childhood. And you're just
Not
gonna
my
come and
childhood.
Not
It
my
missed my
childhood.
childhood.
What kind of childhood did you have?
A better childhood.
All right.
Childhood's drinking a gallon of sweet tea.
Hey, I'm a pretty healthy boy, so
I'll give you that one.
yeah.
I don't know how.
I actually lost 5 pounds, and I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, I know. You eat like crazy, and then you just like lose it. It's like instead of gaining weight from foods, you lose weight from food.
The metabolism
It
go
kind of looks
crazy.
really weird. I eat like a Vulcan O lineman, and none of that shows.
I
In
know.
fact, the opposite. It looks like I'm starving myself. But it's okay. We push through until we can't anymore. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go negative weight soon. Up next, Sprite. What are we thinking about Sprite?
Oh, yeah, that's an 8 out of 10 for me.
No, honestly, I hate Sprite.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't it lemon lime flavor?
Yeah, it's lemon lime flavor. Honestly, I don't like lemon or lime. I mean, I'm fine with lemon, but I do not like lime flavored anything.
They taste the same thing. Are you kidding
It
me?
really doesn't. There is
A
a
lemon and a lime taste like the exact
Have
same.
you ever drank lemon versus lime juice? You'd know that they're not the same thing.
I've actually had lime Gatorade, so
They,
I get that at movie theaters because they don't have my blue Powerade.
Ooh, I got a good drink we could talk about.
What's your good drink?
Cucumber flavored Gatorade.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
That's a thing.
That sounds like a 10 out of 10, not gonna lie.
No,
I
it
love
is.
cucumbers.
It's
Did
so
you buy it?
refreshing.
Did
It
you buy
smells
it?
like cucumbers, but doesn't
Um,
taste like cucumbers.
What does
But
it taste like?
It tastes just like a normal Gatorade.
So
It's a different one, but like
it
tastes
doesn't
pretty
taste
normal.
like cucumber, yet it's cucumber flavored Gatorade.
Next time you're on the podcast, I'll bring it. Okay.
Okay.
It tastes pretty good. Smells like cucumbers.
Alright.
So my overall take is that it smells different than the taste. Okay. But I would rate it at 6 or 7 out of 10.
I give it 10 out of 10. I love cucumber Powerade.
Oh, you've had it?
Yeah,
Oh.
this stuff's great, especially when you're playing tennis.
I've
Yeah.
never-
You
I've
get a
never
good
had
whiff.
it.
I love the smell of
It's like
cucumbers.
smelling
and
salts.
then you drink this. Hey, smelling salts do work though.
Yeah, ignore that freak of a bird.
Is that a bird?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a bird.
Sounds like someone was rubbing a fork against a sheet of metal. Over
Now I
and
have
over.
that image in my brain.
That's just Dennis the Menace over there.
Oh.
I've actually never seen that movie, so
Actually,
if it's a movie,
I've only like read like the little comic strips
I have another.
because I had
comic
them on my Kindle and I was bored, so I just read like a compilation of them.
Yeah. Dude, I was shopping, and you guys know those Gel Blaster things? It's a Nerf brand, but they shoot the little gel pellets You know what I'm talking about, Parker?
It's airsoft, but for lame people.
Oh, my sister got one of those, and I actually hate it because I'm out cutting the grass like normal, and then someone comes up and snipes me, and I'm looking around, I'm like, who the heck? They run back inside. It's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
And there's like a rapid fire mode on it too. It's like Vietnam all over again.
So I was doing a Nerf war with those things with Isaac and his little brother, and I was about to go down the stairs. Isaac comes up behind me, so I go sprinting down the stairs. So I fall down the whole flight of stairs. Okay, and you know how the stairs curve to the left? So I curve to the left with the stairs, and I face plant into the concrete. And unluckily, the cameras were not recording. I would so pull that up in a heartbeat, but...
That sounds hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I was so bruised. I didn't get any cuts, surprisingly, but I fell on top of the gun, and that thing broke. Yeah, that thing was gone. But that's my highlight with those things.
I remember my Nerf days. We had like the Nerf Mega Darts was like the thing when I grew up. It was like the dart was like, I don't know, is it a dart? It's like a foam bullet.
Yeah, it's like
it was like twice as big.
Yeah, it was like this little.
Mm-hmm.
The stupid revolver that I had was awesome. I could just point. I could shoot like 50 feet away,
Nerf
and it
guns
would
are
still
great.
sting.
Yeah. I had a giant machine gun that had its own tripod, and it had like two whole like mags of two whole different cylinders.
Jeez.
That would just rapid fire.
Yeah, there were always like the kids who had like every single huge Nerf gun, and it was insane.
Yeah.
Especially like the big ones with like the multi-barrel. Like that's one of my presents
Yeah.
that whenever I went to like someone's birthday party that I didn't really care for, my mom would just go out and get this one like Nerf crossbow or whatever. And I'm pretty sure we gave this person the same thing 5 times.
Right. Yeah, a Nerf war in my house would not be fun because my walls are so close together. Like, no one's going to want to do that ever.
Yeah, I feel you, homie. My house was made in the 80s too. So, what's wrong with my slang?
Your slang is from the 80s, too.
Okay.
Sorry, home slice.
Dog, you're insane. That slang was straight bussin', yo.
Dude,
The
we're
kids
just,
Okay, let's not.
we're just having playful banter. Get it? Because
Bro talk banter. Yeah.
bro talk banter.
Wow.
Oh, I get
That was a
it.
good one.
Yeah, I love referencing my own podcast inside the podcast.
Hey, if you haven't already checked out Bro Talk Banter, which you're watching this on, you should do that right now.
Bro Talk Banner, please sponsor this. Please.
I think we could get that out.
But yeah. Bro,
Is that the fork metal thing again? I'm just imagining like a little midget, like he's like hiding in the bushes. His head pokes out every once in a while. They recording that.
Finally, my revenge.
It's like a little hobbit, except an evil one.
imagine a song with the scraping of a metal plate against a fork.
Actually, I've done a little prank with that before. I got together with some friends for a slideshow night, which is like a thing that people do. I don't have any social media, but apparently it's pretty popular. So I put together a compilation of like 5 satisfying simulations, and on the very final one, halfway through, I cut it to a fork scraping on a piece of tinfoil. And it was rigged up to a machine, so it would just go back and forth and back and forth. It was great.
That doesn't sound great.
I lost 5 friends that day.
Oh. So, I want to hear from each of you. What's your favorite music genre?
Classic rock.
Classic rock?
That's easy right there.
From the
Honestly.
80s?
Late 60s all the way to, I want to say early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah.
You get into the alt rock at that point in time.
Yeah.
Which
what
I love
bands?
alt rock too. What bands?
Yeah.
Favorite bands, Led Zeppelin #1. Styx, Journey, Bon Jovi, Foreigner, Queen. All of them. They're
I
all
have
really
so
good.
many of those records that I love those guys.
The Beatles too.
Yeah,
The Beatles are like, they're on the very early end of classic rock.
Mhm.
They cover like some pop, and especially the White Album, the last one they released in like '69. It was great.
Yeah, so I mentioned this in my first podcast, I believe. But yeah, I don't really have a big genre favorite of music, but I have my favorite artist is Coldplay. What's wrong with Coldplay? You laughing?
Yeah, why are you laughing, Gabe?
Why are you laughing, Gabe?
Come on, spit it out.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Coldplay is kind of overrated.
I knew you were gonna
No,
say
no, no.
that.
Okay,
No.
some of their songs are great. Like Yellow, I really love Yellow. Trouble's great.
Viva La Vida.
Viva La Vida is good, but
People have
honestly,
fans. That's what they
I'm
say
not a
on
fan of that
television.
slow style of music. Honestly,
Okay.
I like rock music. Like the,
Oh, heck
like
yeah.
the night
Everything
rock.
you're saying is valid
It's
now.
great. But yeah, like I said earlier, I have like records. I have a Journey record that I just got recently.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah,
I
it's-
don't have a Journey record yet.
You don't have a not a true fan.
So, what's your favorite artist or band?
Artist or band? Honestly, right now it might be Journey. But also I've been listening to this other guy. He's not rock. He's kind of a newer. He's like an indie artist. He's called Yacht Club. It's kind of like just relaxing music. It's not really like. It's not Coldplay. It's like, okay, think of it as like in the middle of like, not jazz, but like kind of like that calm likeness of jazz, but also mixed with like upbeat like pop or something. It's weird. It's like its own separate genre. I think it's called like bedroom pop.
Okay.
I've got so many thoughts in my head now.
I have so many thoughts in my head
you know-
after hearing those two phrases used together.
No, it's not
Bedroom
it's not
pop.
It's not
let's
at
let's
all.
move on from that. Okay, so I don't have to mark the explicit box on my podcast.
That's not at all what it is.
So, anyways,
Hope
if
it's
I-
not a music video.
If I had to choose my favorite genre, obviously this is gonna be a classical music because I play the French horn. I'm a big orchestra kind of fan. Like if I had to give an example, think about the entire. Have you guys seen the Harry Potter movie series?
I've occasionally seen bits and pieces of them.
So
Occasionally seen
they have great orchestral music, and probably my favorite type of music comes from that. So, or if you ever want to go to a symphony, I went to the Atlanta Symphony last month. I think it was June 23rd. I went. Yeah, they had this crazy violinist who like played on a 350-year-old violin. Personally, I'm not a big fan of strings, but she made it sound amazing. But
Wait, is there like instrument beef between like brass and strings?
no, not really. I mean, there'll be like teasing every now and then, but
Like what type of, like if you're talking to a percussion, yeah, you can't do our horns, nerd.
so
Is that what
like
it'll say or something
the
like that?
strings will say to the brass, well, we can eat while we play, because if brass eats while they play, it'll mess up the instrument because they're blowing that kind of air into it. It'll cause corrosion in the instrument. So that's something that they would say. But
I thought that was like a setup for a joke.
No.
What did the brass say to the strings?
no, brass will say to the strings like, I don't know.
You think you're
I-
better than us?
Look, I wouldn't know because I don't hit on the strings, but I know that the violins will always be like, we have the hardest instrument, yet we always play better. Yeah, so if you didn't know, the
Those
violins,
snobby violinists.
the violins are the hardest instrument to play in the world, and they'll always say something like that.
Unless
but-
you meet someone who plays the fiddle, then the tables are
the
turned.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. If I was a rich man. Anyways, sorry.
I get you. You just,
But-
you just say-
But guess what I get to say?
what are you gonna say?
I get to say that I have the hardest instrument in band. French horn is the second hardest instrument in the world besides the violin. So
Wait, why?
it's really hard to explain because you don't play a wind instrument. But just because there's a lot of tubing and a lot of notes that you have to kind of vocalize. So that's why it's so hard to play the French horn.
And it's also because you're facing backwards. Do you have to like play louder or something just to hear it? Because it's pointed back?
No.
Or is it just like an amphitheater solves the problem?
No, I mean, it's just, you just play normally. I mean, whatever the music tells you to do. Music tells you to play louder, but yeah, you just play normal. Some people are always like, why do you put your hand in the bell? It's because we have to tune it. That's how we like keep it in tune.
Like, what's the bell?
The bell is just a horn, like
Oh, the little circle thing?
yeah, the circle thing that the music comes out of.
Yeah.
So-
The music maker.
Yeah,
I know that term.
But yeah, that's probably the most asked question about the French horns. But like, if I kind of cupped my hand inside the French horn, it would make a flatter sound. So, yeah. But yeah, Caden, you played no instruments, have you? You play guitar, don't you?
Yeah, I did guitar, acoustic, and electric.
Hey, I'm picking up acoustic and electric right now.
Hey.
Really?
Those instruments are very hard to learn, like especially memorizing all the chords. Very difficult. I probably only have like maybe 10 memorized. It's not a whole lot. And they're just like small variations from each other. But guitar is very hard because you both have to understand like when to go loud and like when it's not a matter of just reading notes. It's also a matter of because a lot of it you don't read notes, you'd read chords. And you have
charts.
what?
The charts?
Yeah, the charts. And it's very hard to like know like how you basically have to know the song before you're playing it, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get like the speeds down, because everything relies on like tempo, which if you don't have a metronome, you can't rely. You have to like rely on yourself.
What about your foot? Can't you just like tap your
I mean,
foot?
you can tap your foot, but like it's kind of hard to do. It's like when you're trying to like sing while like doing an instrument, like it's hard. You have to master like doing both, and then like your foot might go like off tempo at some point, and then you don't want to have to recollect at mid song. So
Yeah.
it's hard. It's difficult.
I from my experience, I got a guitar this summer, an electric one, and I can agree with some of the stuff, except I don't take lessons, so I just kind of like go along with what the magical video man tells me to do. So I know a lot of chords just because they're used. Of course, I'm playing classic rock songs like "Patience" by Guns N' Roses. I was playing that for 3 hours today, and I think the chords aren't so difficult. Like once you know them, they're kind of down. I think it's the strumming. It's the left hand. I mean your right hand. And I come from playing piano, so I'm pretty good with like separating like having my left hand autonomous. So I'm able to like control them separately. So when it comes to guitar, you're kind of working with three things because I'm also singing along with it. So you have your chord hand, your strumming hand. The whole strumming pattern is a whole different thing. That's what makes up the song because you can play the chords, and you can make it sound like any song basically. But I don't think it's that too difficult to keep in rhythm. Like if you're singing and keeping your foot in rhythm, if everything's in rhythm, it's not too hard to match up with it.
Yeah. Do you guys know how to read notes off a page though?
Oh heck yeah, I do.
No, I do not.
I just got taught by someone named Casey Lewis. A little birdie came and told me that how to read some sheet music. I know the staff. I know FACE face for the little white parts. I know every good burger deserves fries because I'm hungry right now, and I know inversions and all that good stuff. I'm practically a music theory master.
If I had to say this, you don't need to learn inversions right now. Like, if you know... I mean, they're good for the future because it helps you... It makes playing easier because you don't have to move your hand from here to here to here to play the different chords. You can just do the inversions, so... But, what was that?
It was a car, Casey.
Oh, that's the Tesla. It sounds like a spaceship.
What the?
A Tesla.
Yeah, my uncle drives a Tesla.
Dang.
But anyways, yeah, if you just know what
It just skedaddled out the driveway.
if you just know what how to read the rhythms and the notes, you'll be fine. Like cuz he's going to take AP music theory and
I was coerced.
what?
I was coerced into taking it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to play piano for that long, I think you ought to know how to read notes instead of just like relying on a
Memory. That's what I do. I rely on memory for everything, like guitar. So I didn't even know there was a way that you could like read guitar music because
Really?
I just memorized the song.
Yeah.
But I guess the whole skill of the instrument, I guess, is learn, what's the word? Sight read.
Mhm.
That's the whole skill of the
Yeah.
instrument.
I have a sight reading book upstairs. I can take a picture and send it to you, like a couple pages. And if you could just play those notes and those rhythms, it would help you out a lot. But yeah, that'll conclude our episode for today. Thank you, Parker, for joining us.
No problemo.
Thank you once again, Caden, for joining us.
Indeed.
Today was definitely better than the first one, and we'll see you guys next time.